Hello and welcome back to another week in new genre books. Thanks for coming back. Or if you're new here, welcome! You'll fit right in. My name is Amelia and from Locus magazine, I'm about to tell you the top new science fiction, fantasy, and horror books being published the week of June 20th, 2023. If you can't wait and you gotta go right for the science fiction, the fantasy, or the horror, I've got links for timing if you want to skip to your favorite books. We're not about to judge. Starting with science fiction books this week, we have 3 science fiction titles being published. From Jessie Mihalik, we saw Capture the Sun out from Harper Voyager US in trade paperback, ebook, and audio. This is a science fiction novel, the conclusion to her Starlight's Shadow trilogy. An intergalactic thief must join forces with the charming teleporter who stole her last job and may now be her only hope for saving her former crew. From C.M. Alongi, we saw Citadel out from Blackstone Publishing in hardcover trade paperback, ebook, and audio. This is a science fiction novel, the first in a series about survivors from a crashed colony ship on an inhospitable planet. Olivia, autistic and nonverbal, leaves the survivors' stronghold and discovers everything she has been taught about the planet's demons is wrong. The author is also a YouTuber under the name C.M. Alongi, discussing writing advice, tropes, and SFF through a feminist lens. From E.C. Farrell, we saw Code Word for Chaos out from Wild Rose Press in trade paperback. This is a young adult, near-future dystopian SF novel. From the author's Twitter, when children can be customized like cars, what happens to the rejects? Cal, age 14, and Sephram, age 16, are rejects on the run. Tailor-made in the lab to be genetically perfect, their undesirable traits leave them without the families they hoped for. So they're on the run. Cal is captured and implanted with mind control technology. A code word is all it takes to make her a mindless murder puppet. And nobody wants to be a mindless murder puppet, so Sephram's just gotta rescue her, but can he do it? Next up, horror, we have 4 titles in horror this week. From Liz Karen, we saw Night's Edge out from Nightfire in hardcover, paperback, ebook, and audio. This is a horror novel. Having a mom like Izzy meant Mia had to grow up fast. No extracurriculars, no inviting friends over, and definitely no dating. The most important rule, tell no one of Izzy's hunger, the kind only blood can satisfy. Delilah S. Dawson, New York Times bestselling author of The Violence, said this: fascinating, a powerful, thoughtful, and all too real take on vampires that will ring true for abuse survivors and have everyone else jumping at shadows. From Jake Emanuel and Willie Block, we saw The Edge of Sleep out from St. Martin's in hardcover, ebook, and audio. This is a horror novel. Night watchman Dave Torres gets off shift and discovers anyone in his town who slept that night is dead, and it might have something to do with his chronic nightmares. In 2019, Block and Emanuel wrote and directed the podcast, The Edge of Sleep. Since then, they adapted The Edge of Sleep as a live-action TV series, created the horror anthology podcast Bad Vibes, and wrote and co-produced the murder mystery comedy Reunion. From Gigi Griffiths, we saw The Wicked Unseen out from Underlined in trade paperback, ebook, and audio. This is a young adult horror novel. The new girl in town, with the nose ring and the obsession with horror films, is having trouble fitting into a community where they keep saying there's a secret satanic cult conducting rituals in the woods. When her crush goes missing, she starts to wonder if the town's obsession with evil isn't covering up something far worse. The author also wrote The Empress, a Netflix tie-in novel. Next up, fantasy, we have 6 titles this week. From Julie Haberlin, we saw Night Will Find You out from Michael Joseph in hardcover, ebook, and audio. This is a mystery novel with fantasy elements about a reluctant psychic slash astrophysicist. Gotta love the mix of esoteric science and hard science there. I'd invite a psychic slash astrophysicist to the dinner party anytime. Anyway, this protagonist, with all the skills, is called in to work on a high-profile cold case of a kidnapped girl. Julia Haberlin is the internationally best-selling author of 6 thrillers, including We Are All the Same in the Dark, Paper Ghosts, and Black-Eyed Susans. From Linda Cow, we saw A Crooked Mark out from Razorbill in hardcover, ebook, and audio. This is a young adult dark fantasy slash horror novel about a teen boy who hunts those marked by the devil, including the girl he has fallen for. Andrew Joseph White, the New York Times bestselling author of Hell Followed With Us, said, "A Crooked Mark is a dark, twisting coming-of-age, sure to leave readers glancing over their shoulder for the devil." Cow perfectly illustrates the struggle of choosing your own path through a lens of fire and knives. From Jeffrey Raynard Allen, we saw Fat, Time, and Other Stories out from Grey Wolf Press in trade paperback and ebook. This is a fantasy novel / fable where Jimi Hendrix, Francis Bacon, the boxer Jack Johnson, Miles Davis, and a space-age Muhammad Ali, he was the greatest, find themselves reimagined and transformed to bring us news of America in the 20th and 21st centuries. Along with them are characters of Allen's invention, two teenagers in an unnamed big city who stumble through a low-down relationship. An African preacher visits a Christian religious retreat to speak on the evils of fornication in an Italian villa imported to America by Abraham Lincoln, and an albino revolutionary who struggles with leading his people into conflict. Jeffrey Raynard Allen is the award-winning author of 5 books of fiction and poetry, including the celebrated novel Song of the Shank, which was a finalist for the PEN/Faulkner Award. From Leopold Chen, we saw Corpse of the Dragon, out from Black Rose Writing in trade paperback and ebook. This is a fantasy novel. Swordsman Han Feng must find out who really killed the Emperor after the Mage Guild's town of Heron's Nest, a refuge for outcasts and drifters, is accused. It's always the outcasts and drifters that get accused of stuff. This is the author's first novel. From Courtney Gold, we saw Where Echoes Die, out from Wednesday Books in hardcover, ebook, and audio. This is a young adult supernatural thriller / dark fantasy novel. In Where Echoes Die, Courtney Gould draws readers into a haunting desert town to explore grief, the weight of not letting go of the past, first love, and the bonds between sisters, mothers, and daughters. Anyone who has succeeded in letting go of the past, please tell us about it in the comments. We're all a work in progress, and that past stuff is heavy. From Katie Rose Poole, we saw Garden of the Cursed, out from Holt in hardcover, ebook, and audio. This is a young adult novel, first in the Cursebreaker duology. The Cursebreaker Marlowe works in the world of nobility, also facing gangsters and vicious magic, and investigating the disappearance of her mother. Sounds like someone needs a good productivity app. Like, that's a lot for one person to handle. Time management is going to be important. Next up, anthologies and collections. We have 2 titles this week. We saw Unrivaled, 4 groundbreaking Hugo and Nebula winning stories out from Kasich, SF and Fantasy in hardcover. This is an anthology of 4 novellas by Joe Haldeman, Lois McMaster-Bujold, Mike Resnick, and Nancy Kress. Each novella has stood the test of time and won both the Nebula and the Hugo, 2 of the major awards of the science fiction fantasy publishing field. You may already know this, but the Hugo is awarded at the annual Worldcon, voted on by fans. The Nebula is awarded by the Science Fiction and Fantasy Writers of America, SFWA or SFWA, voted on by its members, primarily professional writers. Winning both means a work has widespread fan appeal and also the highest regard by professionals in the field. From Yukimi Ogawa and Francis Forrest, we saw Like Smoke, Like Light, out from Mythic Delirium Books in trade paperback and ebook. This is a collection of 17 stories mixing Japanese folklore with weirdness, science fiction, and horror. That wraps up this week. Thanks for spending some time with us. At Locus, we want to tell you everything relevant that's happening in the science fiction, fantasy, horror publishing space. We appreciate your eyes and ears and your likes and subscribes. Please leave us a like on your way out, come back again soon, and go ahead and subscribe if you got something out of this. The magazine and YouTube channel are a labor of love. We are at Locus Mag or at Locus Magazine on most platforms. You can read more about the science fiction, fantasy, and horror field over at www.locusmag.com or support us on our Patreon. We are a 501c3 nonprofit. Come back and see us again soon, and we'll be here next week with more new books.